These streamlined weapons are some of the most expensive race cars on the planet. So you think their drivers would treat them with a little more respect. Makes a mistake. Oh, there's a bit of contact there too. Now Tony Quinn bullies him out of the way. From the familiar streets of Adelaide, we now head to a circuit these beasts have never been to before. So this has the potential to get very interesting. Oh, big crash! Max Twig launches over the back and massive, massive contact. Hi everyone and welcome to the Vodka O Australian GT Championship right here at Winton Motor Raceway. Stephen Johnson from Jim Beam Racing is with us today. And Steve, I guess the great thing about this category this weekend is it's never been here before. No one's got any information.
Yeah, I'm actually quite surprised that the GT cars haven't been here before, but that's going to lend itself to very close racing. Winton's such a different track to what they raced at Clipsal, and you're not going to see the likes of Clark Quinn dominate, where aero is very important there. Small track, twisty track, not a horsepower track by any means, so some of the smaller cars are right in the mix this weekend.
This weekend too, the race format is as it was at Clipsal. There's two races, one's a sprint race, but one's an endurance race, and you can have a co-driver if you like. So that's opened the door to the likes of Craig Baird and Jason Richards getting in the mix. It's great what GT Racing's doing.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. They're mixing it up. You know, the race is going to be great, and I can't wait to see some of the pit stops in the Enduro and see how they fare towards the end.
It should be really great. Round two of the championship with a wide range of cars and drivers. We're looking forward to it, so let's have a look and see how the field's shaping up. Success in the opening round in Adelaide has made Mosler driver Clark Quinn rethink his 2011 program. Originally destined to compete part-time this year, discussions at board level at VIP Pet Foods may pave the way to a full-time assault. After all, it would be a shame to let a title lead go to waste.
I've never really had a good chance to win a championship, and you know, not saying I'm going to do that by no means, but you know, just the opportunity to do that again. You know, I haven't done a full championship for about 3 or 4 years, so it's good to get back into the car.
Tied for points and second in the series are Greg Crick and Mark Eddy. While Eddy's Audi should be okay with a tight Winton layout, spare a thought for Crick's V10 Viper. His car on this track is like driving a truck in a car park, but the Tasmanian thinks he can still compete at the front.
It is a deceptive car. Like, it looks quite big, but it's not that much bigger than a Porsche. It's just the dimensions of the car. It's got a big long bonnet because of that big engine up the front, and you know, we sort of probably play on how tough it is a little bit. That's my excuse book, you see. It's the old driver's excuse book coming out.
Carrera Cup stars Craig Baird and Daniel Gaunt are here this weekend to join in the fun. They'll team with Mark Sini and Dean Grant in their respective Porsches for the second race of the weekend.
GT racing in Britain, it's all about 2 drivers. You allow 1 professional, 1 amateur, so they've kind of made it a bit of a pro-am. If the guys want to do the whole thing themselves, no problem. They get into it. And someone like Mark, he said, mate, you're here driving Fabs' car, so you may as well come along. I'll pick your brains and you can help me a bit on Sunday.
Teaming up with Nick O'Halloran for the Enduro is Jason Richards, a man who's had lots of experience in a Ferrari, partnering all sorts of drivers around a racetrack.
You know, I help these guys out with Maranello Motorsport with a lot of their driver training days and you know, customers who buy the Ferraris. So generally I'm actually on the passenger seat, so it's quite good for me to be on the driver's seat with no one in the car and having a blast around.
Ben Eggleston returns with his Aston Martin after engine problems in Adelaide and will join Tony Quinn in the British Thoroughbreds, while Mark Siemens is the lone Lamborghini driver this weekend. All up, there are 8 manufacturers represented at Winton. Which is the right one remains to be seen.
You're watching the Vodka O Australian GT Championship from Victoria's Winton Motor Raceway. The first race of the weekend was a 30-minute sprint race with 4 different manufacturers starting on the front 2 rows.
Now Tony Quinn, the Aston Martin, has made a massive jump. He takes the lead at turn 1. Eddie second, then Dean Grant in the Porsche. Clark Quinn first of the Moslers, and Ash Samadi right with him.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if anything happens about that start with Tony. It looked like he got a pretty good jump, almost too good at the start of the race.
The first casualty went early.
Greg Crick, the Viper, with new backing from Jeep this weekend. Mark Sandy slowing.
Now, Mark had a problem in qualifying with the gearbox, so it looks like it might have even struck again on him, unfortunately.
With the leaders streaking away, Greg Crick took affirmative action.
Now the Viper started from position 9, making a lunge on Angelo Lazaris, the little Lotus. Now, there's
a bit of contact there.
There's a bit of a weight discrepancy here. The Viper weighs about 600 kilos more than this Lotus.
If I was in that little Lotus, I'd be a little bit nervous with that big truck behind me there, but that smoke doesn't look good. It looks like he probably is going to have to come in the pits to get that rectified. He could end up having a blowout if he lets that go for too much longer.
And Crick desperate to get by. The Viper's not bad under brakes, and Lazaris is limping.
And the series leader was also keen to get a move on.
Clark Quinn putting big pressure on Dean Grant. The Porsche locks the right front brake.
He's got the inside now. If he can hang around the outside here at turn 8, he's in the prime spot for an inside running into turn 9, which looks like he's going to be able to do.
Noses in the gap, and the championship leader picks off the man who sits in 5th in the points in the Porsche. Ben Eggleston just behind. And the Aston Martin running a spare engine this weekend, but Grant is not done with yet.
On lap 8, Tony Quinn was forced to give up his lead.
Now, Tony Quinn, race controllers instructed he jumped the start, therefore he must concede the lead to Mark Eddy.
That's a very hard pill to swallow, especially when you're leading the race. But, you know, if you make a mistake, you pay for it, and it's better to do it through the race than it is at the end.
And it gives him an opportunity to at least fight back for the lead rather than go on and win the race and lose the points post-race.
Mark O'Connor was leading the GT Challenge class early in the race.
The little Lotus is going well, but no, it's not now. It's off the road.
Is he going to stop?
No.
No, it looks like he had some sort of a brake problem there. That was really strange.
Despite some early dramas, Greg Crick was showing great race pace and managed to catch the battle for 4th.
Greg Crick, the Viper, in position 7 on the road. Ash Samadi just in front of the Mosler, closing stages of this first race of the weekend. This is a big car, 8.3 litre V10 engine up front.
That's a big engine, mate, and as Ash just locks up a little bit wide there.
Oh, Greg Crick loops the Viper, and 7th place is on the grass.
That'll be disappointing. He's worked really hard to catch back up to that group after his dramas earlier on in the race. The rear tyres might be going off a little bit here. You can just see him turn in, clips that inside curb. The rear just breaks away, and basically Greg's a passenger from there.
Tony Quinn was having issues late in the race.
Now this is the fight for second. Tony Quinn in the Aston has his son Clark in the Mosler down the inside. And Stephen, the lap times in the Aston have been dropping away.
He's dropped away a lot in the last couple of laps, so he's got an issue.
Mark Eddy punched out some impressive lap times to open up a massive lead and take race 1 in style.
This is the first race win for Mark Eddy on board the Audi. He hasn't won since Albert Park in 08, and the former champ picks up a win.
Dean Grant and Ben Eggleston's battle for 4th continued all the way to the checkered flag.
Great view from Dean Grant's Porsche. He's in deep here.
Oh, you can hear the rear locking there, threshold braking at its best.
Now Ben Eggleston is keen to snatch 4th on the last corner. That was tight.
That was very tight. Not quite in the hole enough for him to get up the inside.
Now Tony Quinn is limping to the line in the Aston up in front. Will he make it? Yes, he does. He gets home in position 3. Lindsay Yellen, great job on debut in the Ginetta. He picks up the GT Challenge class. 8 cars on the lead lap with Peter Edwards, but Mark Eddy, too fast and too good.
Mark, it really seemed as though you got yourself into a rhythm late in the race and just took it from there.
Yeah, Kylie, everything went to plan. The car looked after its tyres really well, and the other cars were working pretty hard on their rear tyres. So it was a real track today that you got to look after your tyres, and it showed, you know, a 30-minute race that the car's fast. So tomorrow, 1 hour race, so it'll be really interesting what happens tomorrow.
When we return, it's all the highlights from the weekend's endurance race.